Hello, this is Zeke777, and welcome to episode 23 of Arcane Revolution. The name of the game today is Autocrafting. So, like I kind of teased at the end of the last episode, over here I've got some ancient warfare stuff set up. I've got a large windmill. Basically, I just looted a village. These sometimes spawn in villages, and so I just took the whole thing down. Took their power. Yep, I'm a bad guy. Anyway, got a windmill controller going to torque shafts going down here to a large light flywheel energy storage. Just a 3x3, too high. Not a whole lot of power in here. It stores, I want to say, 172,000 energy units of torque, I guess. Yeah, whatever that is. Supposedly you can convert it, I think, times 10 to RF, or I guess divide by 10 if you're going from RF. But like I mentioned in the last episode, for some reason the RF part isn't working, so instead we're just going to go with this. So here is the plan. We've got ourselves a redstone shop. This is going to be where I'm crafting my main redstone things that I need. Potentially other stuff as well. Now, the problem I've got is autocrafting stations. These guys are pretty cool. I don't have anything on me to craft. Let's do something like that. Make stone bricks. So if I place you in here, it will quickly craft up all that I have. Cool. Now, that's useful, I guess. The problem is... No, don't want a button, please. The problem is I don't really have a way of controlling this. As far as I know, this does not respond to redstone. In fact, let's test that real quick here. Redstone pack, do I have a lever on me? Yes. So if I throw a lever here, and let's try this again. Let's take our... Where is my chisel? Let's turn this back into smooth stone. Smooth stone, thank you. So let's try this again. It's going to go like that. Stone bricks again. And throw you in here. Yeah, this is on, and it's still just happily crafting up everything. So that is not going to work. Let's think about this. As far as I know, I don't have something like a clutch system for the torque shafts. It's pretty much just always on. It'd be really ideal if I could, because then I can just kind of shut off this one, leave this one going. But what I can do is blood magic nodes. So again, that seems to be kind of the optimal thing for most of what I need. Blood magic nodes have a ability to be turned off with redstone. So basically I'd be just place my redstone here and say keep exactly what I need for crafting, say 2, or I guess 1 of each whatever I need. So if I want stone bricks, then keep exactly 4 stone in here. So what that would do then is that will just keep transferring items into this until redstone turns off the node above it, or next to it, wherever I put it. So I'd then be controlling the node to cut off the incoming resources for crafting. And I think that'll work. So the problem is I need to figure out how I want to set up the whole layout here. These areas here of cobblestone were basically set up for mapping out for the immersive engineering ones. I decided against those. But what I can do, like I said, I think that'll work if I place a node thingy, or a crystal cube, I should say. If I place a crystal cube, I just had a realization. So I place this here, right? I probably can't put a comparator on top of this. Let's test that out, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case. Be kind of weird if you could. Okay, so it is kind of weird. So that works, but comparators need to have an input from the side, so I was hoping to be able to have this be like one crafting table, crafting table, crafting table, one every single block. But if I do it this way, I'm going to have to go similar to this pattern here, where I'd have a comparator going to this guy and a comparator going to this one, with a bookshelf in between. I'm thinking that's going to be what I'll have to do here, which isn't too bad. That still works. It's the same layout I was planning on before, so let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I've got distributor, shaft, distributor, shaft, and so on and so forth. So that lets me have one crafting table here, bookshelf in between, crafting table here, the comparator will read off of this bookshelf. Similar here, bookshelf on this one, and bookshelf here. Now the problem is, I put this in the wrong spot. This guy here, it only has one input, one output, which is fine for here, but I also need power on that side over there. So I guess what I can do is I can route power up and over, or down and over, that works too. And then kind of go from here, some power going this direction, some power going this direction. So that should work. Just kind of annoying. Ideally I could just push this back one block that direction. I'd have to push the windmill as well, but I think that's fine. Actually, I think the windmill can probably stay because I have an extra shaft in here. So that could work. I'll lose all my energy in here, but this is free energy at the windmill anyway. Let's go ahead, break this, and move it over by one block. Okay, so torque shaft, break you, junction. Do I have another junction on me? I think I do. Let's just store extra stuff in here. So I think a junction can read straight off of that. Let's jump up here. And let's go ahead. Place you here. That's not really where it's going to go, but that's okay. Let's see. I need a block to stand on. Right here should work. Okay, so junction is a corner. Oh, I really don't want it there. I need it here. Okay, so that should work. Torque shaft will go down. Let's break this. Another junction. So I need to move. For right now, we'll keep it charging up, although I don't really know why. That can go there, and then a shaft on top. So this should connect up. And the last one is a junction right here. So that is now spinning. That's turning you. Everything seems to be working. Cool. So we're gonna lose all of our energy in here. I'm hoping it doesn't explode. Because if this was somewhat more like real life, the energy in this would probably kill me when I just take a pickaxe to it. But hey, this is a video game, so whatever. Do I have enough inventory space? Okay, so we're gonna break you. Good, didn't explode. And we're just gonna shift this over by one. So energy storage here, 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 and here. That should be good. And let's take our controller, bump it over by one as well. And place you this direction. Okay. So that should be working then. Are you charging up? You are charging up, so power's coming in. You're still spinning over here, so that's good. And if I break you, you are spinning as well. Okay, so it's not just spinning from that whole thing. I think that works. So let's take where do I want my power to come in? I guess what I can do, distributors can go to multiple directions. So if I place a distributor here, let's grab all my distributors, please. If we place one here, then this should work. You're happy there. You're able to get power as well. And if I go down or up, let's go up because then I can see it more. Because after all, what's the point of having things moving if you don't see it? So we want this to go, I think, just over. This should work. So let's place a block here. I don't really care what it is. We're going to have our power on this level. So torque shaft there. Distributor here. And power should come up here. Is that all connected? That is all connected. Okay. And let's go ahead and get a junction instead. I think this is as high as I want it to go. And torque shafts all along here. Should be good. Gotta say, the extra reach is always a plus here. And you're just gonna come all the way over here to here, and then a junction there, and a torque shaft there and there. And that is all spinning. This over here is spinning as well. Break you because I don't need you. Awesome. So this works. As we walk in, we'll just see a spinning rod up above there, and I think that is going to work. Alrighty, so the last few pieces here, we've got one more junction at the end here. Junction. And then a torque shaft and a distributor. And let's break our junction and place it back in again, because that apparently didn't work. Alright, so everything on this side is now moving, which means we have power on this side as well. You over here should be charging up. You're up to 70,000, so that's good. And I think at this point we just need a whole bunch of crafting tables, a bunch of blood nodes as well. It's going to be a thing. And I think this should be working. Now, one thing is things that I'll want to add in. I unfortunately broke all my labels here, so I don't remember exactly what I had in here. Definitely hoppers and comparators and those sorts of things. One thing, I guess I don't have a whole lot of use for the torque shafts now. I mean, like, obviously this build here is using them, but I'll have to see if I have other builds that will be using it as well. I guess I can have other auto-crafting places that use it as well, instead of this where it's just redstone themed. So I can add that in here as well. I keep saying as well. Whatever. Should be good. So let's break all of these guys, because we don't need them anymore. Let's actually leave these though. So that's going to be a hopper underneath once it's built. And then in the front is going to be the conveyor belt like I had originally planned. And then in the back here, I don't really need anything. That's just unused space. I think that works though. I think we're ready. Let me go get a bunch of these crafting tables. They're pretty easy to make. Just some wooden gears, which is just wood, more wood, more wood, more wood, and a single piece of iron. So that is actually really easy to make. Okay, so got a bunch of auto crafting stations here. We're just going to place them in a row here. That works. I don't really want to break this sign yet because it does say what's going to be going in there. Actually, I've got parts on me. I can go ahead and actually set this one up as well. So this one says chests. So let's break that. Let's place our auto crafting station here and set you up for chests. Real simple. Now that one, like I said before, I just need to control whether or not materials go in to turn that into chests. I need to remember what these were. So I know I need redstone, like redstone torches, comparators, repeaters. Observers is over here. Pistons, sticky pistons. Let me remember what I had. Okay, so I've got droppers, dispensers, repeaters, comparators, redstone torches, and chests on this side. And over here, hoppers, observers, bookcases, redstone books, pistons, sticky pistons, and 2 available other spots. So that could be for making bows for the dispensers here. It could be for making torque shafts or even these auto crafting tables themselves, because these you can place in a book to be able to make this be able to do things that the engineering station can do. So I need the research book, which is pretty easy to make. That allows me to make things that I've researched with ancient warfare. So let's go ahead and break these guys down as well. You are hoppers. So let's place you, label it hoppers, and so on and so forth, the rest of these. So one thing to note is with the flywheel here, this is energy storage, right? So I don't actually need this much power. These don't use that much power when they're crafting, but I believe that they might use more than that windmill provides on its own. And now everything in here isn't going to be just constantly pumping out dispensers or repeaters or whatever. It's only going to be when I fall below a certain threshold. So basically that means since it's not going to be running that often, I don't need that much power coming in. If I've got decent enough storage, then it'll just kind of balance itself out. And once I get this set up, I do want to find out whether or not this thing's pretty much full all the time, pretty much empty all the time. And I mean, if it's full all the time, this is actually a fairly large windmill here. If I break that, you can see how big it is. It is actually fairly small compared to the one that I took apart to make it. I've got, like I said, I've got a whole bunch more windmill parts in here, another 2 more stacks, which is enough to build a couple of those. So I can do this for other places in my base as other crafting areas. I might do a big, just general purpose factory. So I've got my small little redstone shop here, and then mega factory elsewhere. I don't really know where. So that is an option. It's just bigger windmills, more windmills. I don't know. I should actually find out the math on this for how much power comes in based off of its size. For instance, if I can get 2 windmills out of 1 and it gives me more power just out of it's using 2 windmill controllers, I don't know the numbers on that. So that's a thing that I do want to look into. But for now, this seems to be working. Like I said, it provides power that won't be used that often, just when I need it. So we've got these set up here. Let's go ahead and get a bunch of blood nodes, which I think I am pretty much out of. So one thing is, I'm going to have to set up some actual will automation here because right now I don't have this set up at all. I've just got 3,500 will in here. I do have a second crystal, but I believe that one is actually empty at the moment. If I look in here, I don't actually know where I put it. I think I put it just away. Yeah, I've got an empty crystal here. This one's only a greater, as opposed to this one, which is a grand, which is bigger. So that's a thing that I need to look into. I don't use a whole lot of will, but I'm also not really killing many mobs anymore to fill that up on my own manually. So we're going to have to look at that at some point. But for now, let's hurry up and craft the rest of these output routing nodes. So one idea I just had is, so my plan was to have the corporea back here with comparator sitting on top of the torque shaft floating magically in the air into the node on top of the crafting station. One option that I have though is I have Immersive Engineering, and that gives me redstone wires, which are pretty cool. And what I could do then is I can just replace all of these with distributors, have basically a crafting station every single block, and then just run wires down from above to the node there. That is an option. I might look into that. Right now I've got more crafting tables than I need in here anyway, so maybe not on this build, but when I get to my mega factory I might do something like that and just have banks of 16 different colors for each of the different colored redstone wires. That's definitely an option. And that could be pretty cool. I mean, that'll be really visually interesting, having just wires coming down to everything controlling it. I just really like the look of the Immersive Engineering wires. So that is an option. I think in here I'm going to go with the corporea in the back here, just going into it, just to have that be set up. And I think I'm going to go with that. But when I get to building a mega factory for building everything else in the world, then I think I might do that. But for now, for just the redstone area, we'll have redstone visible. And to actually set this up, let's go ahead, and my plan was this one here would be the input chest. So this would be a ender chest with all my items to be crafted in here, set up properly. So we're going to place our output node on top of that. Yay. And then each of these, or sorry, input node. Then each of these guys gets an output node on top of them. So like that. Easy enough. Nothing is linked up yet. I also need to get a master node in here somewhere. Pretty much wherever it'll fit. And I think that'll be good. So let's place you here. And you, and you. And then you as well. I might as well place these ones. They're not going to be hooked up to anything. I'll have to put a blank filter in them, because I don't want this filling up with everything. But that'll work. So let's go ahead. I can't actually bind them at the moment because I need to build myself a master node. So let's node. Master routing node, you are block iron, a diamond, and an imbued slate, which I think I have a few. So let's get one of those going, and a whole bunch of filters. Also redstone stuff. So since I need a whole bunch of corporea, one thing that I need is ender air. I'm actually running out of that. I think I only got a stack of those to begin with. So I made myself 3 stacks of glass bottles. And I want to show off something else I had made off camera. This here is Flue Brick, which is interesting. You can see it kind of changes colors there a little bit. Now, for those who are Harry Potter fans, you may recognize the name. This is a flue fireplace. So if I grab my tools here, I've got a bag of flue powder somewhere. There you go. And the way this works is when you craft these, you give them a name. So this one I've named storage, and I have one elsewhere called end portal. And it just teleports you. So kind of cool little teleporter. I'm not planning on using this too much, just for things like this where it's kind of tedious to get back and forth from. It does work cross-dimensionally, I believe, so I could have just put this in the end. But I wanted it here because it also gives me access to the rest of the stronghold and chests and whatever else I want in here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up a bunch of ender air bottles. So we are getting there. I've got droppers, dispensers, repeaters, comparators, redstone torches, and chests on this side, and everything else over here. So I've got a couple of this set up ready. Hoppers, for instance. If I grab this one, then he's going to start pulling. And I think it gets about 10 or 12 before it finally stops, which, I mean, it's a little overkill, but I do use these a lot. And I'm planning on setting this for about a stack anyway. And as soon as it gets one, it'll turn it off, at least for now. So that's going to work. I will need to put a bookshelf in here, of course. Over here, I've got chests doing pretty much the same thing. Again, everything's just set for 1 at the moment because I don't have a bookshelf next to it. But just kind of filling in the blanks as I get them. So over here, let's go ahead and break. Didn't want to break that dirt, but okay. Problem with breaking things too quickly. Okay, got that. So let's go ahead and place in these, the hoppers. So that's going to go there. And then one right here. There, here, and here, and I've already got the one over here. So that is pretty much set up. These guys over here need it as well, but I ran out of conveyor belts. So that's probably fine. These ones aren't even hooked up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. One thing is I did need to move this over one, because if it came down straight here, then I couldn't put my corporea crystal on top. So you can go here, and comparator, I don't have a comparator yet. Got to automate that still. So this chest here I've got set to have pretty much everything I need. I'm going to have more to add to this. For instance, sticks. I don't have that autocrafting. Same with planks. That's not automatically being made either. But planks are being used for chests, and chests are being used for hoppers, so it's kind of all ties together. So I still need to automate that. But basically, this is getting there. And just kind of go over what all it takes to set this up. So this one here, I have to set up the blood node back at base there. Then I have the input node here, which is hooked up to a master spark right here, or master node, I should say. Over on this one, I have to then set up the actual crafting recipe. And then in here, for setting down, I need to add a precise item filter. And what I'm doing is take this stone, we're going to say we want 6. So that gives me enough to make double what I need. Same with you. It kind of makes it so that it'll have a bit of a buffer, so as soon as I start running out of something, then it will be able to craft 2 immediately. It just makes it go a little bit faster. It's also why I'm getting 10 per. Again, it can be a little bit wasteful, but the plan is everything's going to be automated to make these anyway, so the crafting materials to make it I'm not too concerned about. So this is set up here. We've got our stone, redstone torches, nether quartz. Up here we got stone, torches, nether quartz. So now that that is set up, we can now bind this together. So you to you. And that's going to probably start spitting out immediately. Hopefully. You're not doing anything. Why are you not doing anything? You are hooked up. Yes. You are set. Why are you not crafting? Okay, so apparently, I believe my output routing node may be counting as a solid block. So this, as a comparator, is strongly powering the output node. Now, I thought this would count as an opaque block, in which case it wouldn't be able to go through. But it looks like by powering this output node, it is powering this output node as well. And I can test that by breaking this torch, or this comparator here, which is going to basically start spamming redstone torches, but I'm not too concerned about that. So let's give that a test here. So if I break you, that is going to start pumping out, yeah, comparators are coming out as well. So that's a little annoying. That means that this isn't going to work. That's a little annoying. I was really hoping that would not count as a solid block to power the one next to it, but it is, so I need to space these out a little bit more. Alrighty, so thinking about this. Now, I can either have it be you walk in and you can't really see what's going on because I've got one line of conveyor belt going down the middle and then one set of crafting stations along here, just a solid line of them, and then another along the back wall. That's one option, which I don't really like because then you walk in and you don't see what's going on. Another option is I go second floor either above or below and have basically a line of conveyors going up there, line of conveyors going down here, basically where they are. Same on this side. So it'll be double height, which will let me squeeze a bit more in here anyway. I'm thinking the second option. Alrighty, so let's lay out our conveyor belts here just to kind of get an idea what it'll look like. One option I can do is instead of having blocks under here, because they don't actually need blocks, first off. Another option is, so I can have it just be open like that. I can also use the steel scaffolding from Immersive Engineering, which will give it a kind of nice look as well. So I might play around with that. There we go. Let's see how this looks with it just being open. On one hand, it looks kind of cool. On the other hand, it is also going the other direction, because obviously the belt loops around. So that's an option. And right now I've got a block at the end here, so that if I, let's jump up here. Let's jump actually up there. So if I toss a block, then what that'll do is it'll reach the end, fall down, land on that conveyor, and go in. One thing is, I guess if I'm standing here, then I can pick those up through the magnet, which is a little annoying, but whatever. Let's see. how that'll look. I think that might be what we do. I could lower a block as well and then move my torque shaft here. That's an option too. Let's move our crafting tables up and see what this looks like. Okay, so it's a little tedious, but it is working. I've got everything up on the top here. Repeaters should get a number real soon here. Hopefully. That's why. Magnet, turn you off. Okay, so those are going to fall down, go into there. And that should... Okay, so my magnet's going to just break everything here. That's a little annoying. Okay, like I was saying, that finally turned off. Up here, finally turned off as well. Okay, so I have nodes are relinked. I've got them going from there up to here. I've got repeaters and comparators. These will be reading off the same bookshelf. This here is chests and hoppers. I moved them up a level, pretty much just to make it so I can use the same bookshelf for them. So chests and hoppers. So for instance, these I can set to, say, 1 stack. Comparators and repeaters, I'll set you to 2 stacks. I might actually do 2 stacks for each of these anyway. Then down here, you are no longer going to be hoppers. So let's clear that out. Apparently getting some plates, yay. Just need to remove everything around here. I need another crafting table here. And I need to move these guys as well. So basically how it works, and we're going to break this stone little walkway that I had. Don't need you anymore. And let's pull this up so I can actually see. So we have that up top. Then I'm going to have 5 down below. I could do a 4th one. No, I can't do a 5th one up here because that is where the conveyor belt drops. So I don't really want to do it there. I think that's fine. As it is, this is 9 autocrafting on this side. I'll have additional ones over here. I haven't really figured out how many yet to pick these up. But I'm quite happy with that. So let's go ahead, bind you to the dropper node. And I decided to link these individually one-to-one to the master node. That way if I break one for whatever reason, it's not going to suddenly shut down half of my factory and I'll have to relink everything. This way it just keeps it all together. So I'm going to do a little bit more work here. For instance, you are no longer chests. Break you. Break that just to prevent that from pulling anything out. There we go. And I think you can be... if I double click, will that work? Okay. Alright, so that one's good. Like I said, it's a little tedious because since they have power, they do want to constantly be producing, which is a little annoying, but it should be fine. Let's go ahead. I need to break you and you, because this one needs to be a distributor, and this one here needs to be a torque shaft. Like that. Okay, so then another shaft will go here. You know, I might have to add those to my autocrafting. One thing that is a continual issue as I go through here is lack of iron. I've got a decent amount of ore, but I've been kind of holding off on processing it for a couple reasons. If I hit U on this, so right now I'm just melting it down for double. But if I look at things such as a crushing table, that gets me iron rocky chunks, which can also get me nickel and aluminum. I don't actually have a whole lot of use for nickel and aluminum at the moment, I guess. So I probably don't need to hold off on it. I could probably just melt it all down for now. If I need more aluminum and nickel later, I guess I can always come back and either mine it or produce it differently. Right now, I don't get those from the Blood Magic meteors, so that's kind of a thing where it's almost not producible at this point. It's not unlimited, so it's sort of a thing where I've been holding off. But that being said, I do have a ton of iron that's just waiting in here. I've got, I think, 3 stacks. Then I've got additional over at the meteor area. And speaking of the meteor, I did want to go over something that I'd done a little bit off camera just as some testing. So there's a couple ways you can summon this. You can summon it with an iron block, a gold block, or a diamond block. And if I look in here and here. So this chest here is for an iron block, which gets me 2.5 stacks iron, 19 gold, or... Oh, actually, let me hit shift. I got 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 4.25 stacks of iron. It also gets me redstone and lead, gold, tin, silver, yeah, some lapis as well. Whereas this one here is with a gold block. So this one gets me 3 stacks of gold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 stacks of iron, whole bunch of lapis, and also some coal. So basically this one gets me coal, which is good. That's the thing that I need for some stuff. This one here gives me redstone, which I also really need. So I think I'm going to go with the gold blocks generally if I'm doing this. I would like to get away from this method though anyway and move along to an orchid. But that's going to be a little bit further down the road because I don't really have a place for it mostly. But the nice thing with an orchid is if I let me hit recipe on coal and show all for the orchid, I can get coal, iron, tin, copper, lead, redstone, silver, aluminum, wolframite, which is tungsten from Magneticraft, gold, cinnabar, nickel, amber, dark ore, which is also a thing that I really, really want a lot of, and uranium, that's another thing, lapis gold, pyrite is sulfur, which is useful, ruby, which is kind of cool, ruby and sapphire at least from Project Red, so I can't get any of the peridot, but I can at least get that, galena, which is more lead and silver, and emeralds. So really, an orchid is going to give me a whole lot of stuff that I can't get without searching manually. For instance, ruby and sapphire, those are kind of cool. I don't have a real use for them, but they're nice for decorations. Lapis I could get from either of them. Amber is something that I can't get from the meteor. Dark ore I can't get either. Uranium from Immersive Engineering, one of those things I don't really have a use for, but it would be nice to actually be able to get it. Tungsten was another, and cinnabar. So lots of things that I do definitely want that I think I can only really get with the orchid. I know that there's also the Mineralis ritual from Astral Sorcery, which is something that I do want to look into, Astral Sorcery that is, but I believe that's even more limited in what you can actually get from it. I think you can't get any of the Thaumcraft stuff, for instance, so probably not as useful for some of those. So anyway, we'll get into that later. Well, I had a little bit of time off camera where I could play but not really record, so I want to show off what I've done. You'll see we have a new building. So this here is kind of a work in progress for the actual front. I don't really know what I want to do for it. I do know that do I know that? I don't know. I need to figure out how I want to do that. Inside I've got dark oak wood planks on the floor and a little bit of structural support in here for my conveyor belts. I might put one here to give myself a spot to land on. I'm not really sure how I want to make this accessible. So in theory, once it's all set up here, I don't need to touch it ever again. These are all set up along here, repeaters, comparators, chests, and hoppers over there. In theory, I don't need to access this anymore once I get my bookshelves in. However, this side over here, you'll see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 up on top, and 1 down at the bottom there that is not set up yet. These over here, let's just kind of jump over. I've got wooden torque shafts and wooden gear sets because I kept using those and they're kind of a pain to craft. And since I've got sticks and oak here anyway, might as well make it work. So basically it's pretty much done except for I need bookshelves, which, come to think of it, I think is down there. Oh, bookcases, yes. I think I have some on me, but let me take a look. Oh, one thing that I also need to automate in here is books. I need books, and I need, it's gonna need paper. Bleh. Okay, so I've got 4 up top there, so I need books, which means I need paper. Leather, I'll get through other means, not through here. So that gets me books. It's just I need to send paper and leather into here. Then I need book to also be forwarded into here, along with redstone torch will get me a redstone book, which with that should be just about everything I need to automate. Well, everything. I guess corporea sparks could be automated in here as well, but I might put that in with some specifically Botania automation stuff over there. So let's see. I need clear my inventory. Midori blocks. Oh yeah, I started working on the ceiling as well. Not really sure what I want to do with it, and I also raised up. Let's fly properly, please. In fact, let's just crash. I did raise up the windmill a little bit. I think it looks nice. I'm not sure what I want for an actual roof on here. I don't want it to be like too much in front of that. I want it to be kind of a little tower type thing. One thing is if I'm on the ground here, it does break up the skyline so I don't see the mage district as much. So we'll have to do a little bit more work on the Mage District as well to make it a little bit taller, because I do want that to be more of a fortress up there. For now, let's hop back up here again. Let's send back stuff I don't need. Midori has a place. Stone bricks don't have a place, but it's just sitting there anyway. Steel, you can go. You can go. I need to keep you. You'll go to Immersive Engineering. I want to keep you. Midori slabs, are you going to go anywhere? Apparently they are. I didn't know how to place for those. Steel fence, I'll go to Immersive Engineering. You're going to go to Immersive Engineering. Okay. So that is all set up. I also have Arcane Archives, but that's not hooked up to the storage system as of yet. Okay. So, like I said, I need paper, I need books, I need leather to be forwarded into here. Okay, so let's go over to base and set that up. So, over here. One thing that's a little throwing me off is the windmill there. It's a solid block. So if I fly right here, you can actually see the outline, and the outline goes, I think, one above here. Yeah, so like I'm sitting on it, wrong button, F5. I'm sitting up here. So this is a solid block, this whole thing, which is a little annoying if I'm flying through, because I've smacked into it a few times. Like that. Okay, so let's go in here and set up our automation. We need, I keep saying it, I need a book. One book, please. And one paper. Oh, I should probably send sugarcane as well then to make said paper. And let's see, what else do I need? I need leather. Leather is going to be a limited supply at the moment. What else do I have to craft this with? You're not too renewable, not too renewable. That's not useful. Blood infuser, that can work with rotten flesh. And 375 blood, that's something to think of. Alchemy table, as far as I know, there's not a real reliable way of sending items into it for automation. Ground trap, that's not worth automating. Mana infusion. You know what? We'll use mana infusion for that, because I'll have a whole alchemy setup anyway for that. So for now, let's go down here to Redstone Factory. This one here, this side's full, and this side is getting close to full. So sugarcane, we want to keep, let's say, 16. Leather, similarly, let's do 16 here as well. And paper, we're going to do 16. Okay. Now let's remove all the extra stuff in here. And what was the last one? Leather. Okay. So once I send that back to storage here, you, and you can all go back to storage, and then you will get your 16 leather shortly. There we go. Okay. So that is all done. Why do I have an extra spot? Oh, because sticks. And then I'm missing bows. So bows are interesting. I'm having difficulty getting those to be sorted properly. Oh, I actually don't have that crafted. So bows you need for dispensers, right? Now, I might have to use, instead of a precise item filter, I might have to do an NBT item filter, which will then ignore NBT info. So then it'll just send bows. I think that might be what I have to do, because I think this bow may have been created from one that I repaired that I found. So that's going to be a thing that I have to worry about, because it's not going in here, which means it's not going to ever automate dispensers. And once again, I keep running out of iron, so something I've been meaning to do for a while is I need to replace this guy with an ender chest. So this is to my embers smelters. So we're going black, red, white. Kind of keeping a little bit of a theme here with red for some of my crafting things, black for fire, I guess. There's probably actually not too much of a pattern here now that I look at it. My plan is to do at least brown for automation, so factory type things will be brown. Red is including fire type, I guess, and that one had red because of redstone. Yeah. So black, red, white. Let's double check. These are both linked. Okay. So let's break you. And we're going to replace our chest at the top of that for our ember smelter area, because right now it's kind of annoying to get to here. There we go. So Mr. Oak Chest, you are empty. And let's pop you out and replace you with this. Now this guy here, I should be able to send from my main storehouse. Right now it's just processing through a bunch of iron. But I'll be able to do that from home there, from storage, without having to actually walk over here and climb up. I think that should be good. So, ran out of iron. I needed that for some of the automation things. It was running low. It didn't actually even have enough to fill up the chest down here. Redstone Factory, you now have your 32, so you're happy. I also ran out of filters for output nodes. So let me grab a couple more of those. So for dispensers, it's a little annoying. So with bows here, currently I have 0, so I need to actually set this one up. And I've got precise item filters going in. You are not currently bound, which is fine. In order to get this to work over here for the dispenser itself, I had to use these MBT filters. So an MBT filter is putting a bow in here, and back at base, for some reason I wasn't able to get the bows to actually work with the storage drawers, so I have a chest over there which is just holding currently just vanilla items. So I'll use that for things like pickaxes and swords as well, because I think some of these are used in crafting recipes as well, like the grinder here or whatever. So that'll let me have just an MBT chest that I can fill up. So right now it's just for the bows for dispensers, but let's go ahead and link this guy up and it should start working properly. So you to you. And then that should start pumping out a couple bows here. 2 at a time. And that should, oh, I don't have corporea on that, so that's gonna just start crafting a whole bunch of those. Let's head back to base real quick. Corporea, let's grab one. Spark, thank you. And you over here. Okay. That is now filling up with bows, but that should, over at our automation, register that I have some now. So hopefully it'll stop producing them. So let's see. I really need to get the boots that'll let me walk up a step here. Still reading 0. Why are you still reading 0? Blue. You have many. Okay. Let's go ahead and... Do I have a lever on me? Let's see. This is going to just fill up. I need my redstone chest, a redstone bag here. Let's grab a lever, and let's just turn you on right here. So that should stop sending string in. Okay. That's annoying. So that is a lot of bows. So once I get my dispensers set up to a proper number, then I guess we'll be fine. But for right now, it's a little annoying. Why are you reading 0? Are you too far from anything? You shouldn't be too far. If I check you, are you actually bound to this one? Yeah, that's aiming here. I wonder if the corporea is ignoring the MBT stuff. So let's run back over here and see if I can reset it to this item specifically. No. Okay. I guess what I can do is I can set this for dispensers. So dispenser, let's grab one of you. Thank you. And let's set you over here. So what that will do is, since this is currently only being used for dispensers, is if I get low on dispensers, then it can start pumping out bows. And hopefully over here is able to go fast enough. So let's go here. Ghost item, let's set you for a stupid number, 6. Because that will then fill up 6 of these slots here. And I think that'll be fine. So the first time it starts crafting any, it's going to pull 6 right away and start pumping out pretty quickly. Hopefully faster than what this guy's producing. If it starts producing more, then what I'll just do is I'll just manually load them into the dispenser thing until it's used up all the extras. Because I want it to be, it's a 1-to-1, so it shouldn't be going too much faster. But that at least works if I set that for a dispenser. So up here, let's see, I still need to actually add in paper and all that stuff. So let's go ahead, clear out my inventory yet again. White bag. There we go. Don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. Nether quartz that ended up in my inventory. Lever, you can go back to base as well. Lever is another thing that I'll want to add in here, I think. My final idea is to have, right now I have this redstone pack, which is a Project Red backpack. Instead, I'll have a red bag, just a regular ender storage bag. That way I can have it be automatically restocked as well. So it's just always going to have half a stack of pistons, half a stack of this, half a stack of that, and call it a day. Then I'll never have to worry about restocking it, and I'll just always have my redstone with me. So what was I doing? I need to go down here and grab some paper. So let's grab one paper here, and I need 2, 3 of those, and hop back up. Thank you. So you are going to be paper. We've got plenty of paper at the moment, so it shouldn't start crafting. You're already linked, aren't you? Yes, you are. Okay. Note to self, don't link things if they're not hooked up yet. So this is now full of stone, which is a little annoying, but we can deal with that. Okay, so this is still linked, isn't it? Oh, it's linked, but this is turned off, so it's fine. Up here, we want a precise item filter down, and we want to grab one of these, I think, is fine. So place you in here, and we want 6 sugarcane. Put you back in place here, and that's it. So I've already got paper routed, or I've already got the sugarcane routed there, and sugarcane is also automatically being produced over at the farm. So this guy is completely done. Next up, I need a book. So that needs to be a output node right here. It's not bound, so I don't need to worry about it. Down is this item filter. In fact, let's grab this one. Is it the same? No. It's annoying that they don't stack sometimes. So going down, we need paper, and we're going to say we want 6 paper, and we want leather, which I think I did not set up in here yet. Oh no, I did. Okay. Leather. Yeah. Hop back up, and you get a leather as well. We're going to say 2 of you, and you. Let's grab a bit more paper here. So I can just hit U to get the item. Okay. Handy little hopping. Uses on you is 1 book. Okay, gets me 1 book. So you will be set for a book, which I don't have on me. And can't quite reach. You don't have a book on you. 1, 2, 3, and 1 of you. 1 book, please. Thank you. Set you for books. You have 6 books, so you should be not moving. Awesome. Toss you down. You're good. Now I need to link this guy, so you link down to you. Okay, so that one is set up as well. I needed redstone books next. And I think then I should be done in here. So I need 1 book and 1 redstone torch. So a torch from you, and a book from you. So let's set this one up with another output node on top. It's kind of a little bit of a tedious process in here, but I think once it's done, it should be pretty cool. So let's see, I need to set you first. I need my precise item filter. There it is. Okay, clear that, clear that. I need 1 book. So let's say 2. And redstone torches, we're going to say 2 of you as well. So that is set. Now you need to be set with torch and book. Gets redstone book. And books I don't yet have forwarded into here, so let me go set that one up. And hopefully this will be something that will be able to be picked up with the drawers here. So I've got 1 redstone set up there. If I pop down here to Redstone Factory, why do you have 2 strings? Don't want 2 strings in here. Or 2 pistons. Book. I want 16 books. Did that work? Yes, it did. Okay. So I'm guessing that I just removed strings then? Yeah, I did. Okay, so for some reason it likes to forget. If I delete one of these earlier, then it'll try filling it in with whatever's next. It's really annoying. I want 16 string. Okay, so I'd gotten rid of this one here because it was set for the bow, which then threw off everything. So let's go here, take all of our extra string that we don't need, throw it back to base. So I don't want too much filled up in here. We've got 16, we've got our 16 books. And I think that should be good. Got books in here. Oh, I want to check to see that if I put a redstone book in, that it'll go in the right spot. So let's grab a couple of you and craft that. Let's grab an extra book as well. U plus U equals redstone book. Now let's see if these sort. That seems to have sorted. Let's see if it's sorted in the right spot. Well, not that it really matters. Yes, it does. Okay, good. Redstone volume 1. I've got 3 of those. So let's grab one of you so I can set up my corporea. Let's head over here. Yep. See, ran into the windmill. Which one was it? That was you. You are set up to make books. And we have 2. Okay. So what am I missing? Oh, I need to mine this. Okay, so you are already set up, so we can link you down to our master. It's right here. Okay, so that should be good. Let's grab 2U. Is it going to start producing? Yes. So let's put these down here before I make too many of them. Okay, so now that one's happy. Stops producing. Toss you down. Goes in storage. Awesome. So at this point, I have this corporea crystal right here and this one down here, which are not being used at the moment. Let's put a node down here just to have it be already set up so I don't need to grab more parts later. Take you. And let's also, while we're here, stick a filter in so I don't have to worry about that. So these 2 are ready for whatever I need to produce, and I think that's going to be good. Let's go here, and I don't need... Actually, no, I do need this. I need that because we need to actually put bookshelves in. Let's go ahead, grab... I've got, I think, more bookcases on me than are in storage, so let's grab that. Bookcases, and a whole bunch of redstone books. There, 10. Let's see. So, we'll start over here. Droppers and dispensers. I think I'll be fine with only a half stack of those, keeping in mind that it'll also have a half stack on me, so there'll be really a stack available at all times. Let's go ahead and grab some stone here, just so I have a building block, because I need the bookshelf to be right here. So I think if I place this there, that'll give me a block to place it against. So sticks and redstone torches, I don't need anywhere near as many of those. So if I... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have on this side... Oh wait, it's going to override with a higher number. I was thinking I could have one here for sticks at a high number, but the redstone torch one is going to also be riding off of that one. And sticks I want like 2 stacks. Redstone torches I don't really need that many of. Then again, 2 stacks isn't too much anyway, so that's probably fine. You'll get your own based off of how many are in here probably. If I place it next to it, I could place it against the wall there as well though to get a lower number if I need. So that'll be fine there. Up top here, we need repeaters and comparators. I want a stack of each of those. So those are the same. Chests and hoppers, probably a stack or 2 as well. Over here, planks and slabs, it's going to be multiple stacks of those. Pistons and sticky pistons, you know, these are all going to be just half stack, I think. I think that'll be fine. So let's go ahead and fill these in. So bookcase right here, and droppers, dispensers. I said I want a stack of you, was it? Probably half stack, half stack. Cool. So that will start producing. I only want one of you here. So droppers are going. Why are droppers going? Is that for? Oh, that's 1 stack that I have there. I want half stack. Okay, so droppers are turned off because I have my half stack. Dispensers, you're going to keep producing. Over here, same story. Dispensers are being produced. And bows are not. So that's good. Okay, so that's just using up my bows right now. That works. Let's go ahead, open you up. I want a half stack of each of those. Sticky pistons, you're being made. Good. Pistons, bookcases. You need... that's not what I wanted. Let's see, grab you. You will need half stack as well. So I'm just going to do half stack on each of those. Then these guys here are going to get a full stack. You know, they're actually going to get 2 stacks. Okay. So that works. So slabs were low because bookcases started producing. It's kind of cool when it's all working at once. Planks are going to be used up pretty quickly because they're used for a lot of the stuff. At least bookcases are using them as well as slabs, so that one's going to just constantly be working for a while. Over here, sticks and redstone torches. What did I say for you? Was that a stack is probably fine? I might do 2 stacks later, but we'll let it get produced for now. Sticks are going to take a little while to make because planks are over here, and we're slowly producing more. So slabs are good-ish. Yeah, seems to all be working out. And the really nice thing about this setup is, for instance, if I look at sticky pistons, I still don't have enough sticky pistons. Now the main reason for that is because I have 0 pistons, and I have 0 pistons because I have 0 planks. But sticky pistons are not getting filled up with slime balls because I have it set for 2. It's just going to hold 2, that's it. Same with pistons here, it's got enough to make everything else, except for it's missing a single oak wood plank, which is of course going over here to our slabs, because why not? So it works out really nicely. If I'm running low on something, it's not going to just keep trying to produce it and just filling up an inventory with parts that's going to prevent it from actually working later. Instead, it's just going to slowly produce as needed without filling up an inventory. So I'm quite proud of this. Now, one problem that I did just find out is if I look at my white here, yeah, we're full. One problem is that it's still trying to produce things faster and failing at it basically. So if I take my bookcases here, I can fill these in where they go, which will turn off that guy. That should then work. Wood planks are fine up here. So basically it's making them, but it can't load them fast enough. That is one problem with this system. Pistons, sticky pistons, same story. Let's just click you into there. So that will turn those off. The thing is, right now there's a huge backlog on all this. And that backlog is basically just going to make it so that it's not able to actually produce things properly. Because it's going to think that it doesn't need to make them yet. Okay, so pistons, why are you still being made? Same with slabs. So if we just click them in here, it'll load it faster. Once it's all caught up, it should be okay. Should be. For now, it's getting a little difficult though. You can hold plenty of slabs, so I'm not too worried about that. Pistons and sticky pistons. What is it saying? Torch. There we go. Let's see. Pistons, we got 36, so that one should shut off. Sticky pistons as well. That one should turn off too. So now it should be catching up. What are you making? You're still making slabs. Why are you still making slabs? Okay. Alright, I think I got it all sorted out now. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what all is flowing still. Like I said, should be good at this point. Kind of. Planks. Planks are on. Why are you not stopping? Because you have a lot of them. Right. This one does produce 4 per, and simply put, hoppers are too slow. Cool, good to know. Same with slabs. Either way, I've got plenty of storage for those. It's just going to produce a whole lot of extra at the moment. Yeah, it's just taking its time to unload those. I think that's okay. I think I'll be fine. Planks. Just going to go like this. Thank you. And load you manually. Okay. There we go. So it can do whole stacks at a time. Grab you. Alright, this side. This side's all done. Turned off? Awesome. What about you? Why are you not doing anything? Are you not set? You are set. Are you not linked? You are not linked. Okay. You, 2, you. Make a bunch of sticks. Cool. Alrighty. And similar story up here. Repeaters and comparators are going. Chests and hoppers, I'll get you in a second here. I do want to wait for it a little bit. For instance, this one here is using redstone torches, which is using sticks, which are also using planks, so it's sort of a make sure it's able to sort everything properly. One thing is, I may have to look into a faster sorting method, I guess. I don't know if having maybe a second blood network would help, because the problem is that I don't know of a way to speed up blood nodes. So it's sort of, it's producing them, but it's just filling up this, and then like this guy here, it's not taking those torches for a while because it's pulling things at the beginning here instead. And since it doesn't automatically start stacking them, if I have torches here, if another torch comes in, it's going here, it doesn't really work. So, I don't know, it should be fine once it's all set up. Once I have enough and everything's turned off, then it won't be producing large amounts of items at a time, just 3, 4, 5 items at a time. And I think then it should be able to keep up. Let's go ahead and go here, chests. We want one of you. And if I open you up, does that work? Okay. So, okay. I think I can land here. Alrighty, so you, I need, let's go with half a stack, I think, is probably fine. And move away so that my magnet doesn't pull them. There we go, chests and hoppers coming in. Alrighty, so that should be good then. Yeah, I figured I'd just check on the power supply in the flywheel controller here, and yeah, we're still plenty fine. The windmill out there is way more power than we need for this little factory. I might, I'm not going to size it down because the size of that windmill looks how I want it to be. It could probably do with a smaller one, but honestly, it looks better with bigger. I think everything over there is now completely done, except for one thing. I'm missing like 3 books because I ran out of leather. So we're just going to toss all this in here and just kind of manually bootstrap it here to get enough in here. There we go. Okay, so 4 stacks of leather should be good for a while. I don't see myself using that many books at the moment. So throw those in. Book should start stocking up as well then. Got 31 in there, 33, which should turn it off. Okay, so I'll start building a few extras, but that's okay. I set 16 of these books, but because it didn't load them all in at the same time, because it couldn't pull items fast enough, we've got 33, which is probably okay. And I think pretty much the same thing for all the rest of these. We're a little higher than I was hoping for, or at least a little higher than what I set it for. But I think with that, we've got ourselves a working system to automatically produce the things that we'll need for any sort of redstone automation. So let's just go ahead. We'll check in here one last time. We've got lights on everywhere. Same with this side as well. Those are all on except for the one that's not stocked. Up top here, same story. You're all turned on. And same with these over here, except for the one on the end, which is also not set up yet. So I think we've got a working system. Alrighty, just a real simple low roof here. I'm gonna, I think, redo a lot of this, kind of like I added some texture to this building as well. I'll probably do some of that. I'll do it all off camera, I think, though. Just kind of play around with it, see what looks best. But we've got ourselves a factory, and it seems to be working. Let me make sure that I've got all the spawn areas removed here. Don't really want to have some creepers just randomly show up on me. So I've got that lit up. You are all lit up here. You're all good. Okay. That seems to be good. I will have to redo the walkway here. I might set it up so it's sort of like a tunnel type thing walking through here. But I think that'll work. We've got ourselves a working factory. We've got everything mass produced that we will need for other automations, which is great because that means we can actually get started on automating everything. That's the whole point of this pack, isn't it? So we've got this. Hope you enjoyed it. It was quite a long process for me getting everything set up and designed here, but I hope it was worth it for you guys. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.